Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with another short lesson. And this is about the grinding ceasing, all right? And the fall of Babylon the Great through the supply chain. The supply chain is being attacked, and men's goings are of the Lord. So the Most High got this devil destroying his own economy. All right, so this is Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets. Or we're coming upon that time. When the sound of the grinding is low, that means no work. There are jobs out there, but people are having money thrown at them, so they choose to stay in. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right? And, being a musician as my 9 to 5, I understand that to be true, even though a lot of covetous, envious losers, if you will, have a problem with it. So let's watch this. This is Epic Economist channel, April 23rd, right? Which today's the 26th. This is 3 days ago, probably Friday. And the title of this video is "The Shortages of Everything Are Breaking Up U.S. Supply Chains and Sending Prices to Unprecedented Highs." All right? Let's check it out.
The U.S. supply chains have been completely turned upside down during the past 12 months. Widespread shortages persist as the impacts of the health crisis, extreme weather conditions, factory fires, the blocking of the Suez Canal, a container ship shortage, and other logistics woes are still causing disruptions in both production and delivery of a wide range of goods. Prices, on the other hand, have been continuously climbing and hitting new record highs. Many factors are contributing to the worsening of the supply chain crisis, such as the current global shortage of semiconductors. Chips has suddenly become a very scarce commodity, but their shortage potentially affects just about any company adding communications or computing features to their products, from video games and cars to cash registers and kitchen appliances. The chip shortage is also triggering the shortage of many other essential products, since every aspect of human existence is going online, and every aspect of that is running on semiconductors, as explained by Mr. Pat Gelsinger, the new CEO of the chip maker Intel, who revealed that demand for their product has never been so high.
I bet you the MOB chips are going to continue production now, all right? Because that's the priority of this NWO.
People are begging us for more. Every month, our product is getting more popular, but we may not be able to make it in several months.
Now, that doesn't apply to that MOP. They probably got them all ready to go, as many as they need.
Singer said, even before the Ever Given got stuck in the Suez Canal, global supply chains were already being pushed to the limit, which in turn made it significantly more expensive to move goods around the world and sparked shortages of everything, from fitness equipment to cheese at a time of exceedingly heated demand. Over 80% of global trade by volume is moved by sea, and the disruptions already added billions of dollars to supply chain costs. According to the S&P Global Platts, the median cost to ship a 40-foot container jumped from $1,040 last June to $4,570 in March.
That's hyperinflation.
In February, container shipping costs for seaborne U.S. goods imports amounted to $5.2 billion, and that's compared to $2 billion during the same period in 2020.
So you can imagine how much food is going to be costing here in a minute, which is going to add to the chaos in every other aspect of everyday living.
Of course, all of these expenses add up, and they will be translated into increased risks of rising inflation. A nightmare scenario for Wall Street. Investors are worried the supply chain chaos may lead to the beginning of a new era in financial markets because a spike in prices could force the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates much sooner than expected. However, on Main Street, it means things are about to get a lot more expensive.
Hyperinflation, the Weimar Republic. That loaf of bread is going to be $40 soon. All right, so we can stop here. They go into a lot of other aspects of how the supply chain blockage is affecting everything. Okay, the economy and everything else going on. All right, so what we're going to do is just try to keep this short because we know about Jake's attention span. So we'll just, say that, hey, this is the Most High bringing everything to a grinding halt. This is the book of Revelation 18. Revelation 18 and 22. And the voice of harpers and musicians, all right, even if you got a problem with it and can't make a living like some of us can, and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatever craft he be, it's talking about work, shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. All right. This is a coming prophecy. It hasn't happened yet, but this is when Babylon the Great is destroyed. But this is what we're looking at. Okay. All right. And when I say that about, being a musician, ain't nobody trying to be no superstar. Nobody's trying to get a record deal. I'm just paying the bills. And you seem to have a problem with that. And that's your problem. It's not mine. The scriptures say, put ye first the kingdom of heaven, and the Most High will add everything unto you. Okay? And that's always the way that I paid my bills. All right? And it's the way that I pay my bills now. I don't have a problem with it. It's your problem. Okay? So let me read on. This is 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Now, this merchant thing, that's when you see them shipping containers and all of that. So that thing is coming to a grinding halt. All right. Now this particular passage, as they would call it, is dealing with what happens after those missiles. Okay. But it's already started. Okay. All right. So let's move on. This is Jeremiah 25. And the reason I say that about the music and all of that, because this is what's coming up in the scriptures right now, right? And I happen to work in that, in that field, and there's nothing wrong with it, all right? Jeremiah 25, still doing his work. All right, Jeremiah 25 and 10. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, okay, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones, that's that work, the light of the candle, all right? And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. Okay, so, but the point is right here. The sound of the millstones, all right, the mirth, the gladness, all right, the music, the partying, all right. We can see that that is quickly coming to an end. Let's get this real quick. This is Jeremiah 7 and 34. Then will I cause to cease from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem the voice of mirth. The two-thirds are not going to know what to do. And the voice of gladness. No more new jays. The voice of the bridegroom, the voice of the bride, and for the land shall be desolate. Jake, you better get ready. All right? This is Isaiah. Book of Isaiah 16 and 10. And gladness is taken away, and joy out of the plentiful field. Right? That's that supply chain. And in the vineyards there shall be no singing, neither shall there be shouting. The treaders shall tread out no wine in their presses. That's no work. I have made their vintage shouting to cease. Everything is going to come to a grinding halt. Goods and services, no food, no work. All right? Let's get number 7 here. Isaiah 7 and 34. There's no 34. It's a lot, 23. Isaiah 7 and 23, and it shall come to pass in that day that every place shall be where there were 1,000 vines at 1,000 silverlings, it shall even be for briars and thorns. Okay? All right? Jump down to 25. And on all hills that shall be digged with a mattock, let's talk about work, pick mattocks, there shall not come thither the fear of briars and thorns, but it shall be for the sending forth of oxen and for the treading of lesser cattle. All right, so, hey, there ain't gonna be no food. There ain't gonna be nothing. All right? And this is that judgment to come. All right, so what is this? Isaiah. Let's get Lamentations. It's Lamentations 5 and 15. The joy of our heart is ceased, our dance is turned into mourning. Okay? The elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music. And the prophets of the Lord were great musicians. All right. So saith Elder Apostle Gabar. All the time. Okay. Even to the point where they can make a living. King David was a great musician. And still is, for that matter. This is the book of Amos. Amos 8 and 10. And I will turn your feasts into mourning and your songs into lamentation, and I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins and baldness upon every head. I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. This is the time we're coming into. All right? This is the book of Ezekiel. 7. Ezekiel 7 and 18. And I understand envy and strife and jealousy and covetousness. I understand it fully. Ezekiel 7 and 18. They also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon the faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. That money ain't going to mean nothing when you got to take that chip. Right? What you going to do? Here we come. Here comes this thing. Great havoc is coming upon the earth, all right? So just letting you know, this is a warning that the supply chain is being severely disrupted, and hope that the elect were edified. And with that, we can say shalom.